that, I think, was controversial to a lot of folks, the fact that you were experimenting with humans or experimenting with human emotions that underlie all these data. Why do you think that strikes such a nerve as we talk about data and data privacy? Why is that still very off-putting to a lot of people?
I mean, to be totally frank, like I think it was only off-putting to people in the media whose job it is to be off-put by things. We got 0 complaints from any user directly in the experiment that you're referring to, and the only complaints that we did get, which are very few given the scale of the site, were basically referencing press that they had read about us. So I found time and time again in this controversy and in others, like our users are far more sophisticated than the pundits pontificating on their behalf, which is ironic, I think. You know, look, I think the upshot of controversies about whether it's Facebook's newsfeed experiments or our own tinkering with our algorithm, the upshot is positive because I think the people, even our users, but certainly when you take in everybody, people use these technologies way more. Their use of these technologies far outstrips their understanding of how they work, and so when these things are far apart, that's just bad for everybody. It's bad for us, it's bad for the users. People should understand the things that they use, right? And so having this stuff in the public discussion, yes, websites, when you see Facebook or when you do a Google search, it is completely possible that your next door neighbor or your wife or whoever has a totally different experience because they're running a different algorithm. And it feels controversial when OkCupid might tinker with its recommendation algorithm because it's love, but like, look, I mean, when Google changes their algorithm, which they do constantly, it changes how people's worldview or their idea of the truth, right? Because they can bring up a particular article about Israel versus Palestine or whatever if people Google that, and they can decide what that first result is, right? And so that's going to change the minds of a tremendous number of people depending on how they decide to prioritize different viewpoints. And so people should understand that any of these things, like I was saying in the beginning, whether it's Netflix, Google search, Facebook's newsfeed, OkCupid's algorithm, it is basically a different version of the same idea that works with Netflix movie recommendation, It's our opinion. I think everyone understands that with Netflix. They're like, I don't want to see this damn movie, Like people understand it's just a guess and you can take it or leave it. Google search is the same way. It's not as well understood, but this is their best guess at what fits what you Googled, You should take it or leave it, Same with OkCupid, it's the opinion of these programmers. And I think that people do understand that more, partially as a result of these kind of controversies. Yeah.